Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. And in the hot seat again is my good friend and colleague, Mike Garrison of the Strategic Referral Team. Mike, how are you?
Man, I am good. I am good. It's been quite the day.
Quite the day. Excellent. Here as well. And let's not go down that rabbit hole. So we'll leave quite the day alone. So what I'm excited to talk about is, you own a lot of intellectual property that you have developed and you bring to the market, and you have really focused in on the strategic referral team property. And I will just say that. And by the way, you should please take a moment to introduce yourself to people who don't know who you are. And Mike, go.
My name is Mike Garrison. I'm a consultant coach, father, friend, husband, all that stuff. I really love helping people that service business owners have a much more enjoyable experience growing their business through ideal clients. Like when you get down to it, best-selling author, franchisee, franchisor, like I've done a whole bunch of stuff, but the pinnacle of everything is being kind of a curmudgeon about the fact that it's all sales. And then once people accept that reality, letting them then take that freedom that gives them in mindset and execution
Yeah.
to 10x as a human.
Make more money doing work that you love.
Yes. Right. I at the like, and then like strategic referral team. So first of all, like backstory, I always think of that not so wonderful hotel room that I was talking with you in when I was up in Cleveland doing some work with Exit Plan Institute.
Yep. Great organization.
Tremendous strategic partner of mine. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, everyone there. Shout out to Johnny Weishar. Call me Johnny. Great guy. But and you were like, hey, Mike, I'm concerned that you're not going to make enough money and you're going to burn out. Now you said it a little bit more lengthy. There were more words,
I'm
but
an
am I
attorney,
wrong?
and I can use all the words.
But am I wrong that that was the context of our conversation?
You're absolutely correct.
Yeah. And just so everybody understands, George has deep access to all things Garrison, and especially the backstory as refers to my son with multiple disabilities, an adult with special needs,
Yeah.
ongoing care, and quite frankly, the difficulty of just having a normal business owner life, right? You know, um, so that's where George was speaking to and has continued to speak to. And I'll never forget, like the real turning point for all this stuff, because I've been talking about doing something like SRT
Yeah. We're going to have to get into what, so that people can keep
for
going.
well over a year. We've been talking about it, but what precipitated it was I had been able to successfully build a very lucrative practice as a consultant using growth drive methodologies within my specific niche, and realized that I hated my life. Right at the point I was making more money than I've ever made, I realized I didn't want to do it. I love my clients, but I didn't want to do it because I was traveling too much. And I'll do this and then we'll get into SRT. But like, I'll never forget calling you up and saying, George, I realized that I'm about to achieve the dream that I shared with you almost 2 years ago of having my wife not having to work outside the home,
Yeah.
working inside the business again. And that the moment I bring her home, I won't be home because I'll be out on the road, and I'm getting older and I'm falling apart doing it. And why the hell am I going to design this thing to have more family time and not have more family time? And you were like, well, probably need to fix that.
Yeah. Let's design that out.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so like that was a bad moment for me, because but sometimes you achieve success And you get there and you realize, okay, I achieved success. That was good, made a lot of money, and I'm miserable.
Sure. That
Like,
happens. That actually happens. That's mundane, right? That happens so often.
absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
with my clients, it usually has
Yep.
happened. And they bring me in. And so what I had to do is I had to envision a way to make 600,000 to 1.2 million, right? Without having to travel all the time. Because when I look at my calendar next year, I've already got 20 business trips
Sure.
already. And none of those are client business trips. Those are like conferences and stuff like that. And so I'm at maximal load for my ability to function already. And so I have to be able to generate really nice incomes from a, spectacular venue in Roanoke, Virginia, which means I have to make all my money outside. But
Yeah. Well, so let's yes. So let's talk about what is the strategic referral team? And for people who don't know you at all, if you could provide, a minute on your philosophy. Can I borrow your car? The book, the best-selling book, and then what is SRT, and why? Well, then we'll get into why it's
sure.
so valuable.
Um, I would posit archaic language for the win.
SAT words.
I would state that there are few people I'm aware of that are as focused on being able to predict referrals within a commercial sales process as myself.
And the power, and really sitting down and thinking through the power of referrals. I agree.
Right. Yeah. And so when I look at referrals, and Can I Borrow Your Car was a book I wrote after my dad died, when I basically was, when your father dies when you're in your 50s, you when he was the man he was, you kind of ask yourself, well, who am I and what do I do now? Like, has everything I've done matter? And I had a moment of insight to a true story. Can I Borrow Your Car is based upon where I went, you know, start the stopwatch. I'm going to kill you and I'm going to do horrible things to desecrate your body, to 10 minutes later being handed the keys to a priceless vehicle. Right.
Yep.
And it's a story of how you communicate about risk in the referral process. And fundamentally, my biggest belief is that most people don't achieve anywhere close, not more than 20% of the potential referral business that they and their organization could, simply because they have not explicitly A, visualized and then embraced the reality of relational risk as it pertains to driving real sales results by referral. Okay. B, understanding the necessary components of professional salesmanship that must be inherently installed in the individuals in the organization so that we're safe drivers.
Yes.
And then C, understand how to scale it without hating your life, right? So don't be a predator or a beggar. Instead, be worth meeting, be worth buying from, and be worth referring. And that's
And that is, Mike, I'm going to stop you for a sec. I think that is a very powerful way of saying, you say in the community, and, wherever you go all the time, why should I? Why should I? Why should I? But the way you just phrased it, I think is be worth. That is incredibly powerful.
thank you. I mean, because that's it. Like, you know, every time I talk to clients, I am always having to deal with other influencers, and that is my kind word now. I'm using that word with all of the disdain and derision I can muster for my black soul. All these other influencers in marketing and sales, none of which want to be really accountable. Like, here's my litmus test. Have you ever had to go to a sales manager, a real sales manager? Not not the person that runs the store where you did retail, but a real outside sales manager, and be accountable for your sales results. And also have to convince a seasoned sales manager that your system of sales is going to produce results. And so, like, I came to this because out of college, after having been in the military, thank you, Lord, for the military, right? Resilience and things like that. Out of college, I worked for a copier sales company in DC, Northern Virginia, DC. And what I didn't appreciate at the time, but I do now, having owned businesses, like you and I understand what fixed expenses are and variable expenses, George. Like, forget the academic growth drive stuff. Like, we run businesses. And we've actually, you and I share some sad stories about things
Yeah.
that we did. Like, fundamentally, the owners of TML copiers and business machines in Manassas, Virginia, had to execute purchases in advance of millions of dollars of machines. And it was like, I knew they wanted us to be successful, but I didn't understand why as much back then. And it was because they had $2 million of financed inventory that they needed to get rid of. And that's why he's like, hey, look, you just telling me your networking is not good enough. like, like, and I was ranting in the community we're on. It's like, hey, look, people, like, you're not a salesperson. You're not a commercial salesperson. If you're a consultant, you better start acting like one. If you don't know your territory, like I was, it was
Yeah, that was we
installing.
talked about that in the coffee klatch this
Yeah,
morning.
like
Yeah,
I knew all the businesses that were prospective clients of mine, meaning that I had a decent chance of providing something that they needed or wanted, and that we had the right pricing, and that I had access. Like, everyone wants to spend time doing everything else except real sales.
that is by and large yes. I mean, I'm sorry, that's the attorney in me. That is correct. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and
now let's pause here for a sec. So,
not that I will rant about sales.
now, well, you're and what we talked about this morning was identifying your territory, your clients by name, the people you want to talk to inside those named clients also by name. And if you don't have that kind of a list, you're not truly serious about selling. You're in the hoping business.
Yeah.
So what I want to get into is SRT because I'm tremendously excited for you. So Mike, SRT is the acronym for sales,
Strategic referral team.
strategic return. Well, sales is a Freudian slip.
Sales
Strategic referral.
consistency.
So strategic referral team. What does that mean? What's its value proposition?
So when you look at, so George and I share all kinds of different experiences, right? So we have both run mastermind groups.
Yep.
We've run peer groups. We have managed sales teams. We have done all this stuff. And so um, it's what SRT is going to be a private group coaching program that I run, 50 people max, only 50.
And it's a private coaching program, and you say will be. I mean, the website's built, the marketing collateral. You just haven't pushed the go button yet, but it's
Yeah,
it's built,
yeah,
and it is who can be a member. Who is qualified to be a member? One of the 50 lucky sons of guns who and daughters of guns who are going to
yeah.
be in
So
SRT.
so you have to interview to be in it, because I have to decide if I want to deal with you or not,
If you can help them, yeah.
and if whether or not
If
I
you
like
want
them.
to deal with them, yeah. Well, that's
No, like, I am in this. So this is the value prop. What's the lifetime value of an ideal client? Not a good client, not an average client, but ideal. The people that will be in SRT are going to be owners of professional services firms,
yes,
consultants, coaches, CPAs, attorneys, growth drivers, financial advisors, commercial insurance agency owners, but
yeah,
people that sell expensive shit to multimillionaires. I think I'm one of the best in the world at helping narrow in on what an ideal client is, being able to expand that, right? And then being able to predictably acquire those clients. So the whole value prop of SRT is, how many ideal clients do we need to get you to have a 10x on 1,000 a month? And so what we're looking for is if your lifetime value of an ideal client for your firm isn't well north of $120,000, that doesn't mean that you don't count or you're not valuable or anything like that. It just means that this community is not for you because I am going to be executing with business owners with a commercial sales business owner mindset. How do we
And in this instance, I got to stop you because we get when you say business owner in the context of this conversation, you were referring to the owner of a professional services business.
correct?
I want to point that out because for most people in our community, business owner equals client in this case. So
Yeah. Well,
keep
business
going.
owner to them is this concept of a market that they'll never tap because they're too broad, right? So that's also what it means, right? So fundamentally, here's the deal. Like question number one, what is a lifetime value? Question number two, do you have any clients like that? And if you don't, how the hell do you know what the lifetime value is? So that's a trick. So if you apply, that's a trick. But then the real question becomes like George, ideal client. Most of the professional services firms that I run across, meaning all of them, are not comprised of a client base that's all ideal.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
Period. And so fundamentally, when you're looking at scaling, like a 10x scaling, Dr. Ben Hardy, great book, right? When you look at scaling your business as a professional service firm, you and I both know you're the growth driving sensei, right? He's got belts wrapped around his waist, his arms, his legs, his head, just as long as it's not around your neck. I don't want to be Michael Hutchinson from, NXS, right? So the point being, like, what we really want to 10x is the most realistic way to achieve the three dimensions of growth. Three dimensions of growth are,
Is that you asking me or are you going to recite?
where did it say it?
Okay. Predictable profits and cash flow, right? And that's the launch pad for growth. Predictable, sustainable growth. That's the rocket. And then predictable, transferable business value, which is the ultimate measure of business success.
Period. And that's because you don't always get to pick your exit,
Correct. Yep.
right? And so you have to, like, even if you're not planning on selling, you will. It just will maybe post exiting the life. Right.
Well, and
But
it's interesting, even if and what a lot of I am a strong supporter, strong adherent, crusader for the seventh exit option, which is what we describe as the oil well,
um,
exiting the accountabilities chart. And those of you listening out there, you need not sell your bit. And private services, professional services firms, you need not give up the personal tax and wealth benefits of owning a business. You simply need to exit the accountabilities chart and become, let's use the term, the chairman.
yeah.
So heck
And,
yeah.
and and fundamentally, like when you look at that, this community is not for people that are looking to be an absentee owner, right?
Yeah.
That's not where this is positioned in the
SRT.
life
Sure.
cycle. It is absolutely one of the subliminal goals, right? I want you to be, and I think my version of being able to exit the org chart or exit responsibility is only do the things in a business that you absolutely love and that you're
Yes.
the that. And because
Yeah.
here's the challenge, you ready? Right at the point where most owners of professional services firms are at their absolute peak, both neurologically, experientially, and technical skill wise, to be able to identify an ideal client, to be able to get a meeting with an ideal client, to be able to convert that meeting into a ideal client that's paying you, which is always nice, by the way, and then be able to serve that ideal client through the entire organization. So the leadership role, right? Not doing all the work necessarily, but being able to be that leader of an outcome for the ideal client and then get the referrals. Right at that point, they usually don't have time. right? So,
Yeah, interesting.
so
Yep.
that like, so if you're the right fit for SRT, you still love getting ideal clients. You also realize that in your organization, you're the only one that can do so predictably and profitably at the highest level. And then you also start to think, what would happen if just through my efforts, having fun, reinvigorating myself, re re reinstalling my love for my business, what could happen if I added 10 or 20 of these ideal clients? What if I could be responsible for, in a fun, life-giving way, what if I could be responsible for just adding ideal clients to the firm? What would that then present as options to about where my team could live, right? And I will tell you that the drag that most firms have is on non-ideal clients.
Uh, it's one of the first topics that, whether you are an accounting firm or a wealth advisory firm, and frankly, I don't care if you're a manufacturing firm.
Same deal, right?
If you do not understand, and we get into this in in the in the deep analysis, that using my methodology in the software, et cetera. But you understanding your profitability by product and service and by individual client, and
Yeah.
that is an
Oh,
eye opener. So
yeah.
so Mike, SR, I want to come to
So,
SRT.
and
Keep
real
going,
quick, one last
please.
is this. It's also it's not me giving up on one-to-one consulting, but like one of the things about SRT is we're going to bring everyone that can come twice a year to Roanoke because I can't travel as much because of my son. We're going to bring everybody to Roanoke where I live and do deep transformative intensives as a group. It's going to be an amazing thing. But here's the deal.
Yeah, I just participated in one different, not SRT, but they are great meetings.
Ended up being kind of close,
Yeah, right.
ironically. But here's the thing. When you're running a going concern, like when you are already successful and and you're trying to evaluate how do we improve the organization, with tremendous humility, I developed SRT because of the reality of how it works. As a business owner, it's not just your life, it's your team's life, it's your current client's life,
Yes.
it's your community's life. And nothing I can do is more objectively achievable, transformative from the three dimensions of growth,
Sure.
and also financially lucrative than just focusing on ideal clients. Everyone else in your business can fulfill roles and responsibilities. You can hire some marketing execution firm because most of them don't know shit about marketing, right? They just know how to execute on marketing concepts as long as they're not accountable. Right? You can do all that stuff. You can do your LinkedIn DMs, but at the end of the day, these professional services firms, if they add 10 ideal clients per year, everything changes.
Okay.
Everything. And you don't have to focus on everything in your business. You don't even have to have this earth-shattering marketing plan that covers every look, all all we're going to do in this community is commit to adding ideal clients and then trust that that action, that focus, that excellence is then going to drive systemic improvement across the entire organization.
Uh, yes, love it. So, look, can I recap?
Yes.
I'm a I run a professional service. I own a professional services firm that is successful. I want to, stop doing the things that I hate, and amplify spending my time, investing my time. It's a finite resource, right? Investing my time in doing the things that I love. And my, a good personality profile is someone who loves winning ideal clients and helping those clients. You're an advisor for a reason.
If
You
you
love
don't love
helping
people,
those
yeah.
clients.
If you don't like people, my system is the worst idea in the world,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
This is not a sterile Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, you know,
Robert's a great guy, by the way.
I'm
I've had the good
hey,
fortune
buy copper, buy
of knowing.
copper. That's all I'm saying. Buy
Uh,
copper, buy copper.
so so um So now, now we have a profile of an ideal SRT member,
Yeah.
and I am going to interact. So what is this? And so there are two things. I think I'd like to put the mechanics off for a moment
Sure.
because you started getting into why, and the why is that we are going to attract clients. Now, you and I talk about this a lot
Yes.
for a wealth advisory firm. First of all, let's not even get into disrupting other relationships. Let's talk about the benefits to your firm compared to other clients. Business owning clients, are they better, the same, worse?
For
Talk to
wealth
me.
advisory firm,
Yeah.
um, as long as you have the ability to qualify and identify them before meeting,
Yeah.
they are the best ever,
Yeah.
right? And here's why. Number one, there are all kinds, I mean, all kinds of ways to create incredible value for those business owner clients as a wealth advisor while creating incredible amounts of revenue for you when you achieve trust on the business side of the ledger, as opposed to being the also ran who deals with what's left over or what spills over the dam, in their personal life. This is why you see so many advisors say, I can't make money off of business owners. I'm like, well, which business owners are you talking to?
Yeah.
Because clearly they're not profitable. If they're profitable, they've got big problems with cash. Like they have big problems that you're uniquely positioned to help them with, right? My God, like some of my clients make a lot of money with cash management with their business owner clients.
Sure.
Being able to show them why their local community bank shouldn't have the $5 million sweep account, that it should be like, so they're like, that's huge
Well,
revenue.
and if you were and if as a business now we're talking about the owner of a professional services business. When I say business owner, if you were an SR, let's just call them an SRT member, so I stay sane. Thank you. Which is hard enough. Hard enough. So if I'm bringing in an SRT member, the impact that the owner of a 5 million, 10 million, $20 million business, $2.5 million business can have on the growth and value of your advisory business is profound.
It's at least, when with those numbers, you're looking easily lifetime values of 250 to well over $1 million.
Sure.
Easily,
And,
easily.
and what kind of multiples are professional service these wealth advisory firms getting?
So if we eliminate the mouth breathers, right, and we get to the real stuff, like 500 million, 3 to 5x, unless you have a terrible business. When you get to over a billion, multiples get insane. And the reason being is it's the most sticky prescription income. The only thing that's more sticky might be Planet Fitness, right?
Yep.
Because they don't want you to come.
That's, that's a different topic for another day.
Yes,
Uh,
like any. I'll be good. I'll be good.
So so bringing business. So if I'm on a and I know the reason that so many wealth advisors are getting their exit planning designations is because they have at least been exposed to this concept. I love, there are a lot of things that a wealth advisor can provide, a lot of value. So I don't want to make it sound like this is a crass transactional relationship. There's a ton of value that wealth advisors bring to business owning clients. And advanced wealth planning, sure. And things like, cash management, but there are services, there is succession planning, there
Yeah,
is sophisticated compensation planning, including things like not just non-qualified deferred comp, etc. So we are
so
building on top of the 401k.
yeah,
There is
I would make the
synthetic
case.
equity, et cetera, that the big houses have the planning departments to do. And then there are insurance opportunities that literally help so of the things I've just described that help your client not only protect cash, but keep more cash in the business.
Yeah, well, I mean, as it could be as simple as evaluating whether we address risk, right? So disability, life, key man, things like, so who's equipped to actually have the business owner decide, do we take cash flow and buy insurance products,
Yep.
or do we take cash flow and invest it, providing our own self-insurance? Like those are conversations that no one's having, by the way,
Yeah.
for shame, right? Which is why most
Well,
firms buy.
BEI has introduced the owner-based planning program, which is of which I'm a huge fan, which
Yeah,
goes exactly to this conversation.
but to the point is this, is like, this community isn't just for financial advisors. Like, if you're listening to this and you're a growth driver, right? And you don't hate me already, give me a chance. But
Give it time. Yeah.
right, but like, say you're a growth driving consultant or you're a value advisor consultant,
Yes.
okay? One of the things that I do better, and I've done this with tremendous success across the world, analog, right?
Yeah.
People would pay to have me sit in meetings to help little referral teams of consultants, wealth advisors, attorneys, CPAs. Like, they would pay to have me come in and accelerate the trust they already had into profitability through my vision and my sales acumen. This is really the opportunity that I know a couple of people that you and I know of are going to jump on top of, and they're not going to join as an individual, meaning that they're not coming by themselves. They are going to bring with them, consultant A that's a growth driver that really gets this. They're going to bring with them that partner in the law firm. They're going to bring with them that partner in the CPA firm. They're going to bring with them that financial advisor. They're going to bring with them that commercial risk mitigation person, maybe another HR consultant, but they're going to bring their own team of people that they're already in relationship with. They're going to inject them into this proven 30-year process that I do, that now we can use digital to, and I'm not even going to talk AI workflows yet. And I am going to turbocharge their business, and they're going to have the most fun they've ever had, because the biggest problem they're going to have is, what do we do with all these prospective ideal clients? Well, that's the beauty of not being Joe individual salesperson. Like, one of the ways that you manage a really super high end top of your sales funnel is by the fact that you've got 4 or 5 other high end complementary owners of service firms that can also meet with your ideal prospects. And so all of a sudden, I don't have to handle every meeting at the top of the funnel. Sometimes I can just jump in midway because I'm brought in after initial discovery.
Yeah.
So that's what that's the real vision for this. The real vision is there's 50 people. And in the beginning, I expect there'll be 4 or 5 people that hear about it, either directly from me, maybe an introduction from you, maybe someplace else. And they're like, just like in the old days, when I used to build BNI groups, like BNI, Business Network International, I would have very successful professionals come to me, and it would be a referral. And they would say, and I just want people to hear this. This is the power. And they'd say, hey, Mike, I visited such and such BNI group, and a really nice group of people. However, I think I'm a little bit farther along in my career than being in a networking group with a bunch of people I don't know. For example, I'm working with these 5 other business professionals, right? And they aren't able to get in that BNI group. What do I do? I said, well, there's 2 ways we can approach it. And either one's fine with me. We could form your own BNI group if you want, but you're going to have to fend off the Mary Kay person and stuff like that because, you know,
Sure.
the mosh pit that is a professional referral group basically fawns jump the shark. Like you don't need that anymore if you're successful. Or I can consult with you, which is how all this stuff happened. I can consult with you and you can use my experience and my knowledge and my systems, and we can just grab the 90% of business that you have right in front of you.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
You know,
Are
that's
you
what I do better than anybody else, is taking the relationships you already have and accelerating because you've done the hard work, like know and trust. You've done the prereqs. What you need is a system and you need a mentor. You need somebody who can cast a vision for the 4 or 5 of you that you believe in, can help you work through the risky parts and then keep pushing.
Yes. And, yes, and being in a group of peers, right, of like professionals, not competitors, but of peers who are your accountability partners, right?
Yeah.
And who are helping brainstorm these issues.
I will tell
Yeah.
you what it's not. It's not a mastermind group. It's not a peer group. It's
Nope.
not a traditional group, open group coaching program. The community is not based around you having to check in daily and see what crap is posted, right? It's really about how's the process of acquiring ideal clients going for you once a week, providing an update for the group, and then interacting. But, and it's the only way that people will have access to me in that regard, but being able to interact with me, ask questions, like, and you can watch because we learn so much. Like I have, we do all these different things where I can see you or a Larry Prince or other people, Eric
Yeah.
Owen, interacting with a case study, and you can learn. Like sometimes the best learning I get is watching somebody else display what they did wrong and have a skilled facilitator unpack what happened and then what to do next. Like it's called the boy, am I glad that hasn't happened to me yet, and now it won't.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. That's right.
Yeah, but that's the SRT is not where you join a Facebook group and you gotta go 4 times a day, and you gotta stay up on the feed. That's not about the feed at all. It's about live access to me twice a year in person for a day and a half. It's about live access to me through asking questions. And more importantly, developing, if you come to it by yourself, by the way, if you're a business owner and you don't have your own little team, well, guess what? We'll be working on. We'll be working on building. Fundamentally, I want to have people that are in SRT that are managing SRTs.
Yes. Yes. And that's the, and there, and that is, so I want to underscore that. So you are helping people create their own strategic referral team.
And a
And
bunch of them are going to graduate. Like we are going to have turnover, right? Because these are really successful people, and some of the turnover is going to be because they got to a point where they ended up selling their company. Well, hey, like great victory, right? Maybe
yeah,
you'll come in and be a consultant on my team, right? But like my goal is to have a wait list of 50 people,
sure.
right? At the point that you're not getting value from the program, I want you to move on. Maybe you do need to be in a Vistage or an Alex Council. Maybe you do need to be 1v1 with a really gifted growth driving consultant to address some of the systemic problems that are preventing you. Like you aspirationally were like, yeah, I want to be able to get ideal client acquisition, but then maybe 3 or 4 months or 6 months into your SRT experience, because it is all powered by clarity, by growth drive, by the methodologies that you've done, George.
Thank you.
Maybe you're very welcome. Are you kidding? Thank you. But maybe you discover, you know what? I need to come back out because there's work that needs to be done on those 3 dimensions of growth. And well, good news, there's probably going to be some growth drivers in SRT that you're going to say, hey, Tim Rohde, can we talk about potentially me working with you for 6 months to a year, and then maybe you can come back in, you'll be on the wait list, but maybe you can come back in
Sure.
later on. But like that, you're not joining. It's a month to month thing. If you get all the value you need in 1 month and then it's not going to be productive, I want you to move on with blessings. Via con Dios, baby. I think the average tenure is going to be significantly longer,
I
but
would assume so. Yeah.
it's not a lifetime contract,
Yeah.
right? Like, we're either getting you ideal clients or you should be doing something that does
Yeah. Yeah.
something
No,
else.
I love it. And for my part, connecting connecting professionals with business owners, people who own private businesses in an advisory relationship, whether it's wealth advisory or accounting
Mhm.
advisory or investment banking, but connecting with business owners is terrifically important on our execution of our vision and mission. So I love, you are the reason we get along so well. You are helping people build their firms, build more successful, larger, more valuable professional services firms that are helping clients win.
Yeah.
And that's good for that's good for their stakeholders, the communities, and our nation, for all
But
of us.
and I
So
just want to clarify, like I sent this manifesto and it's going to be on the website, right? I just want to just really heighten this. This is not a traditional mastermind or anything. And the ideal client avatars that we're talking about have got to be clients that you love too. Like, this is not the, hey, we're going to 10x your business and you're going to exit and have a big sale. Like, I've got a lot of great friends that George and I share
mhm.
that we will introduce you to do that.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
right? When you're sitting there going, man, like, if I just had some more time and more energy, I could add a bunch of great clients and this firm would never be the same again. And we would be able to do this and this and this. That's that's the window for SRT. That window doesn't encompass your entire career. That's a very specific window when
yeah,
you have achieved the that 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 elixir, right? Where all the ingredients are together, where you can easily acquire clients if you had systems support, right? But it's gotta be something that changes your life and other people's life around you as well.
yeah.
It's got to launch you into something better.
100%. So, okay, hard to believe we've been talking for 45 minutes.
I just looked at it too. I was like, wow.
Wow. Well, this happens.
Yes.
Um, s
Usually not recorded.
Usually not recorded, and usually at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So, okay, we've described, what SRT is. You've done a good job, thank you, of describing who's qualified, who you want to work with, and who might wanna work with you.
Mhm.
You are standing up, you're going to be publishing, the work is done, but you're going to be publishing in the coming days.
The
You
website's good to go right now.
okay, great.
www.strategicreferralteam.com.
It is published, okay? So, terrific. Congratulations, man, I'm happy for you.
Thank
A
you.
and, uh
I have a great team of really awesome people.
y yep.
Like any real business owner, it ain't me.
So strategicreferralteam.com and you are so I'm tremendously excited for you. This is going to be really good
Well,
for
you
everyone
were a
involved.
big part of this, man. You really were,
Well, thank you.
and it's been a pretty awful experience getting here. Honestly, it's really, really hard. And I know that you and I, for all of our irascibility, right? I know, I know that you and I
You
understand.
haven't sworn a single time and you're using fancy words.
Yes,
Who are you?
I
And
am.
where is my friend Mike Garrison?
I'm tired. No, I don't. When I have more energy, I swear more because I'm I have more energy. But
Irascibility.
but here's the thing. It's like the process. Like, once you get successful, you are not done, and it's one of the most terrible things in life. You've achieved cash flow. You've achieved some level of significance. You've got resources. You're making money. And almost every single time, you're not running the business that you wanted to run,
That's
right?
that's right.
Right.
Yeah,
And I'm talking for professional service firms where a lot of what we're delivering is somewhat intangible. You have a lot of people things, you have a lot of stuff like that. Like, and I would argue that you could extend that to a body shop as well. But for the professional service firms, almost none of them want to continue to sell the way they had to survive.
well, and have you perhaps earned the right to do the work, as my friend John says, make more money doing work that you love. And what's counterintuitive, and sales process is a huge part of this. What's counterintuitive is when you create an oil well, when you make a business that is serving you, it is easier to run, and the data is pretty clear. You'll be making more money.
You'll be making more money. And if something changes, you've got better options. The
100%.
beauty when you have a business where everyone on the team knows they're in a sales organization, when everyone on the team is confident about that ideal client avatar and about all the service models and what everyone does to deliver that ideal client
And
experience,
you're bringing efficiency to the pipeline.
yeah,
Yes.
cost of goods sold goes down, carrying cost goes down, all these things happen.
Yep.
Ironically, at that point, you and all of your team members have options that never existed prior to that point.
100%. All of the options are open to you. All
Yes.
of them. Yeah.
Maybe at that point, you're like, "You know what, Mike? This has been wonderful. Like, I've 10x my lifestyle. I've 10x stuff. My team's happy. Now we're ready to 10x the revenue."
Well, and you know what's interesting?
For the
Maybe,
guy
but yeah. Well, none of this is easy, which is why you are so valuable. But,
right
as
package.
we say, is a lot of, but it may not be easy, but it is well understood, right?
Yes.
There is no magic wand. This is hard work, but we understand what the work is that must be done.
And now with AI, when you make it through the gate that AI is not about getting answers, that AI is instead of how do we drive better thinking through our entire organization? How do we drive better thinking in our client base? How do we use AI to create significance
Yep.
as human beings? When you break through there, which is a big part, I've already got 20 workflows, which are thinking exercises
Yep.
already done for my clients in SRT
Yep.
already. Like, that's gonna be I think that's what we'll be famous for. We'll be famous for these workflows that advance humanity and business.
Uh, you get an amen from me, and that might be a perfect place to bring. I don't know. Now this is part one of a two-part interview, and we'll do the second one maybe next week, maybe early in the new year.
Yeah,
Sounds
man.
like a plan. This was a great conversation, Mike. I'm happy for you. I'm proud of what you've done, and
Hey,
let's
I
let's
love you, brother. Like, you're a huge reason that when I hit that point of just devastation, making lots of money, and not sleeping, getting really unhealthy physically. And then how terrifying is it to realize that you've achieved income and now you won't be able to enjoy it? Because I want my wife home so I can, like, being the parent of a severely autistic adult that isn't leaving, it's hard to be married.
Yeah, I
It's hard
admire
to
you.
have
Yeah.
dates. Like I'm gonna go all in on 10xing my marriage as a
Yeah.
result of SRT. And I want people to hear that. Like, when you become a member of SRT, part of the reason you're doing that is because you wanna be a part of that story too.
Yep. 100%. 100%. Love it.
Yeah, love you, brother. Awesome.
Yeah, love you too, man. Okay, I'm gonna turn off the recording. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, and much more to come. So SRT, Mike Garrison, everyone. Thank you,
Um,
Mike.